Hello there everyone, and welcome back to more Blood Bowl action. I want to be honest with you there. I'm feeling really bad after that last match because there was an opportunity to possibly win that match just because of one little subtle decision I made there, thinking that my Ogre at the end of the first half was not within reach of scoring a touchdown if I had chosen to blitz with him, when really that was not the case. And due to the fact that I moved one Ogre in preparation for my Noblar blitz, that would have guaranteed a possible touchdown with how those dice played out. And I'm feeling really upset, I'm feeling really bitter about, once again, it feels like, robbing myself of victory. Because I think there was another opportunity of victory when I played against Grim. And these mistakes will not do, especially if I want to prepare and make my way into the playoffs. But it's going to be tricky to learn from those experiences because our next upcoming match is going to be a handful. It's definitely going to be one of our more difficult type of matches since Malt is going to be playing as the Pro Elf team, and he was the second last pick in our YouTuber League draft, which basically meant he had the choice between choosing an Elf team, which is where he's more proficient in, or playing as the Ogre team. And I don't need to tell you which of those two teams he chose. And he's got a pretty good roster already. He's got Mighty Blow, he's got only 2 dodge players, or even blodge in this case, which may have a little bit of hope for me, especially if I can get my hands on those catchers. They could die incredibly quickly with an effective blitz or two. But the biggest problem I'm going to have in this match is just my movement 5 versus their movement 6 all the way up to movement 8 on 3 of their players. It's going to be so ridiculously difficult for me to catch up to him, especially when you combo the fact that the Noblar are just going to basically allow for him to 2+ dodge his way through my tackle zones whenever he so wished. And thankfully, because he doesn't really have dodge on his key runners, that may deter him from actually doing that play. That is the hope, at least. But with Twitchy, he could just 2+ dodge whenever it's convenient for him if I position myself poorly and I'm not able to chase after him as a result. And the one thing I hate to rely on most with these type of teams, or at least with any of my teams in general, is trying to break them down through attrition, as more than likely that's bound to not happen just due to how unrealistic it is to have an armor break most of the time. Sure, with Mighty Blow against Armor 7, it's about a 58% chance of at least stunning them, but keep in mind we still need to knock them down. We still gotta actually break them, or at least get a block on them. And if they're effectively dodging me, I'm ideally getting only 1 blitz at a turn, or 1 blitz at a time, and that's not even considering I may even bonehead that blitz attempt. There's a lot of things playing against me, even with just 1 effective blitz, or block even on him. So I don't really want to rely on attrition damage, even though that's kind of the main thing that the Ogres would kind of rely on. I'm not feeling good about this match, but we're going to play our damnness, dang it. If I can at least cripple his team, maybe that could play into something later on this season, if I am so lucky.
Yeah, it's weird. The Ogres is probably the only stunty team that actually gets some actual team value on it.
Yeah, but with the new rules in Blood Bowl 3, I believe the Noblar don't count towards team value, so in theory that should change some.
Yeah, shave 100 or 200 K off.
Yeah, I don't know if that includes the skills for leveling up, if that actually counts towards team value still or not.
Yeah, that's an important consideration.
But this should be interesting, regardless.
Question. I feel like defense is probably still smartest. As
Gonna
much
break
as
some
you
elves.
beating me up sucks, I need a team to defend with.
You may not have a team to defend with after the first few turns, who knows? And also, due to the fact that I have Strength 1 Noblar, I think I seriously need to consider trying to pick up with an Ogre. And I'm really tempted to grab it with the block piece, as he's a lot harder to knock down. But at the same time, he's so valuable for trying to do damage to the team as well. It's a bit of a give or take there. Because it really comes down to how confident am I that Malt's not going to try anything too risky if Noblar or even other Ogres are at least forcing him into red die blocks on my ball carrier. If I think he'll chance it, then I want the block piece to have the ball. But even then, I still have to get past the 50-50 chance, with that said. And of course, 3 die blocks are really damn important too, but the problem with that is, I do want a wide formation in preparation for a possible blitz. There's a lot of variables. But right now, we'll try to be cautious. Because let's see. Because these are the guys I want to block with, so I guess we'll have them in the middle. Narblar on the side will allow a 3-die block, and then the only problem with that is it leaves the sidelines open. That's the risk, so we gotta hope we do some good damage. Boneheads notwithstanding. And otherwise, with my slower speed, if it's a deep kick, then I'm in trouble. Alright, good luck to you, Molt.
Thank you, you too, man.
You may need it. Well, that would have made my life easier if he immediately picked up the ball. Now, not really a fan, of course, of just leaving the Noblar to get exposed, but it is 3-die blocks. First block is a good one. What do we get? He survives, sadly.
That won't last for sure. You know that.
That's the hope, at least. Otherwise, I'm pretty much in a lot of trouble since my entire stig is to try or hurt your team.
The shtick is kill. There we go. There's a bit of outbreak. We're slowly building. We're slowly building.
Just building up the tension.
So this will be the KO, right? And then next one afterwards can be an injury.
You are a prophet.
See, it's all,
so
it's all working to plan.
Do you know when the Bonehead's supposed to kick in, huh, Malt?
I think it's start of next turn. Pretty sure.
Okay, so I'm free to blitz. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
You're all good.
Yeah. Don't really like this formation a bit. Because, honest truth, the Ogre should pick it up, but I need to plan for if that fails. Because there's so much security if I can get it with the Ogre. But at the same time, I also need to protect it. And actually, I should not move with you in case of a Bonehead. Because that's likely to happen here. Double pow, that's a good sign of an injury, right? You're not a prophet, you're a fraud.
Not a prophet, I'm a fraud. Look at that, it went down again. It's supposed to keep escalating.
Now, I do have the reroll, but that means it's very risky to pick up at the same time. On the plus side, I have the convenience of moving. He's not going to be able to move. 3, 4, 5, 6. He can get base to it. But there's so much security if I get it with the Ogre. I need to chance it. Just a shame it doesn't have... he doesn't have break tackle. That's the one oversight here.
Oh my god, it's begun.
Now we have a game, as opposed to you just swatting Noblar to try to pick up the ball.
Exactly. Just stealing it and running away.
Yeah, because, sure, the Noblar could get it, but it's so easy for you to just dodge in there and at least 2-die block them. I'm a little uncertain. I like the idea of having the ball carrier be a break tackle piece or the block piece, but at the same time it gives me a lot more options for support with the break tackle not having the ball, as opposed to it being a possible crutch. But the first step is done, but we're not done yet. We gotta get a formation all set up. Yeah, that's a good start still. Sure, no injuries, which I know is what you want, Roger, but it's a start. Down goes Nobler 1. He's alive!
You guys hardier than I am.
He's alive! It's the extra long beak of his. But, as we all know, it's not gonna last long. Because there goes your snake eyes I would have loved for a dodge roll. So in all honesty, I don't know if that's really a bad thing he didn't break the armor, considering. I do possibly have a very strong next turn with already almost a third or a quarter of his players already being out for at least turn 2. But boneheads are a thing. Now, let's see at least if this part of your prophecy takes fruit or not. Because where would I want to go? Just safety. Just slow crawl forward. Okay, not for the ball carry at least. There is that. Where the hell do I put you? Because I gotta be mindful, he's gonna be limiting his movement unless I go for it. And I do want to move one more ogre up here. And Malt, without doubt, will try to thin out my Noblar numbers, especially with the Might Blow piece. So I need to be conscious of that. I'd rather him be behind me if nothing else, but that's going to be tricky to do. And now the big question, dodge first or blitz now, because a bonehead here is not terrible. Because I want at least a decent screen. Okay, there was a 2, so that's unfortunate. That could have avoided a bonehead there. So far, so good. Let's keep it going. And yeah, as much as I would like to push him here for Surf, 2+ dodges are really easy to do, so I think we keep him in front of me. As much as I would like a possible Surf. 3+, 2+, then easy surround on me there. And we do have a formation at least, it's just a question of which ogres do we move. Oh, there's a bonehead, you were right after all.
I was a little bit late in the turn, but yes, we got there eventually.
Now I want the ogre here, but this is a very easy blitz opportunity here. So I'm gonna have to double up the Noblar to kind of cover his spot. Because this is the obvious blitz target here, if not the ogre. Because he's kind of isolated. And we're not moving you to minimize bonehead opportunities. But next turn I should seriously consider re-rolling at least boneheads with 5 dice. Because yeah, this is my weak point here. He's going to try to surround me, and because I don't have break tackle, if he does get enough behind me and I don't cover my bases or get unlucky boneheads, then I'm in a lot of trouble. Even if I do have a pretty respectable chance to dodge out. I realistically would like to get on his screen, but that's a lot of ogre. I would need at least 2 ogres to be comfortable with that, and any more risks a lot of unnecessary boneheads if they're already in a good spot. I live! No, I don't live! How could you? You got your injury at least.
Yay. Raid was worth it.
6 more for the level up and tackle. That's another thing I'll have to consider. Although it's not like I could stop him from avoiding blitzing my Noblar. Unless I have a very wide screen with ogres, which again, my priority is to probably group them up so he can't get any white dice on me. I will take that. Now the problem is sidestep here, as tempting as it is, that it's both a blessing and a curse to try and blitz him. Unless I am fine not moving at all. That would be the exception. Because then, at least that way, I only have to move a single ogre. The only problem is I'm really vulnerable in the back here. Again, this is both a blessing and a curse if I chance this. Because I need that POW. So this is where I chance the reroll, I think. Going for it. Going for it. Ah. Eh, well, worth a try. Now, we're not going to move the other ogres, because I don't need boneheads at an opportunity like this. So I gotta try and break as many as I can. If at the very least for a second half, even though he still can get a very easy touchdown, but this is a missed opportunity. I could have got a good window around. Since what, 3 dice, that's a 42% chance for a POW. I don't know what that is with 6 dice though, but easily was in my advantage. It is still early though. We could make something work, and as an absolute last-ditch attempt, I could still do a Noblar throw. I just don't want to chance it because, again, odds are not in my favor there, as opposed to that blitz I just did, which statistically should have been a POW. In at least a single POW. Ooh, good thing you had dodge. Yep, here it comes again. And it's a go for it. I live! Now the big question, mark or no? Because he does have dodge, so it's worth chancing, because he's not at risk otherwise. I got at least chance an extra dodge or 2. Never mind, it's a go for it as well. So I could blitz him and then very unlikely get a block on him, but with sidestep, that's still probably not a good idea. Not unless I position myself appropriately. He's an opportunity target there, though. I can get his 3 dice at the same time. It just requires moving 2 ogres, which means probably... let's see. Which means probably a bonehead. But again, I probably need to get aggressive with these POWs. Just a question, where do I prefer my ogre? Which, well, I don't really have much of a choice where to put the ogre. Which means I have them really clumped up, which works in Malt's advantage if this is done wrong. So attempt number 2, we definitely need to try for it. And again, it's in my advantage. Nope. Now I did burn the reroll, keep that in mind. So we moved the Nobbler. He is going to get a block, but can we chance some kind of 3 red dice opportunity? Because yeah, I'm easily going to try a dodge with you. And I want to make sure, at least make it difficult for him to deny assist here. If he does chance for a blitz. Yeah, because sadly he could just sidestep in. Regardless of how I position myself unless I stay here or move the ogre. Which, honestly, moving this ogre is not terrible because a bonehead with him is not a bad thing. So we'll chance that. Because if he boneheads, sure, he boneheads. That doesn't really affect me. Oh, there's the snake, guys. I'm still protected, but those are dice we want for Malt. Dang it. And now he has a window over here because of that, but... Still red dice, 2 red dice, but with block that's a 25% chance of success. Well, in my case, Gladiator, I was actually trying to prioritize the Blitzer. One, because it knocking him down would give me an amazing window to go along the sideline. And then... Let's see, where do I want to put you? Where am I concerned? Well, I could possibly block back if he follows up. Unless he denies my assist with the other Nobbler. Or denies assist on the other Nobbler. But the last 2 turns I tried to blitz his blitzers. And even with 6 dice, I couldn't get a single PAL, alas. So he does have block. So knockout there. Now he is going to try for a white 2-die block here, isn't he? That is the impression I'm getting here. Because he has enough players, he's just going to put a lot of players there for it to work. And there's only one direction he can really push him if he's going to try with the Might Blow. So 55% chance. It's basically even odds. So is he going to re-roll it? Wasn't worth it. I'm sorry.
It was absolutely worth doing. You just need enough to not be so bad.
Well, now,
I thought it was a great idea, clearly.
Now you know how I feel when I tried to blitz your blitzer twice.
Exactly. Just pushes. Disgusting.
I know. Okay, that may have saved me from a very awkward situation. Because he can't chance putting someone here because I can easily block him away. But sadly, I'm not making any progress, but there is a window here, I think. Yeah, there is a window here. It's very awkward with the risk of boneheads, though. And a 1 die here feels amazing. But we'll chance that later because I don't think I want any other assists for that. Because, in all honesty, dodging's better. So we can block you, follow up. And there's a possible window here, it's just a 2 dice block. There, more pushes.
More nuffling.
I think I want to follow up there. I just gotta make sure I deny assist somehow. Because you can go here. It is... I do have the reroll still. I might have to burn the reroll for the bonehead, though. There's the power I was looking for. Now, we have a window to get through. Can I make it work for me? Because this is an awkward situation because if I could deny the assist, it is still a red dice, but that also terrifies me because of my game against Grim. That terrifies me still. I won't lie. I'm just wondering where the hell is the... Well, both his blitzers are over here, so I think I try to protect my right flank. I'm just wondering where's the best place to put the guard piece. Because I'm still more than likely have to burn a reroll for moving, but it's not going to end my turn if I get in our snake eyes. Actually... Yeah, I'm going to have to move you, because you're kind of in the way. And then, I definitely need to advance you forward. Now, where the hell does this third ogre go? Because this all but guarantees red dice on the ball carrier, but at the same time, I'd rather him not mark the ball carrier with the blitzers. And there's still this 1 die block, which is still worth chancing for an injured elf. I really want to deny these assists too. So I don't think I take the block if this go for it fails. And then we just deny assist as much as we can. Because we're not going to roll another snake, guys, are we? Maybe? Hopefully? Wishful thinking, I know. And we do have the reroll. It was so tempting to block him with a Noblar, but I need the numbers to help protect me, if nothing else. Oh, there's another snake, guys. 2 back-to-back snake guys, I think that was. Or at least it feels like it, at least. But I'm still in a comfortable position, but... Since now, this is a situation where I wish I had my ball carrier with break tackle. I kind of do, but we could still make it work. And even then, it's still a 50-50 chance with the reroll to just dodge out. It's just not a situation I would like to put myself in. And hopefully, if we can tie up the blitzers for a turn or two, that's probably a lot of their muscle out of the way. Even if they do have a lot of block players. Because this sidestep's a pain in the ass. I'm just going to have to block with them last, just in case they sidestep next to my ball carrier. Okay. So he's not going after the ball carrier. So he's planning for the following preceding turns, because that's a 2-die. So that's good there. Now we just gotta deny the assist and allow for an opportunity of a meat grinder here for us. So long as I can deny the assist, my Ogre is still relatively safe. It's sidestep that's a really awkward thorn. Because first impression is have the Nobblar go up here. Maybe blitz, but again, those blocking opportunities have not been working out well. And I get a 3-die block right here too, but previous history is telling me that's not a good idea just because of all the pushes we got. And I could still fall back because he infested a lot here, but it's a question of blitzing. If I blitz here, knock you down, where do I go? Because even if he sidesteps here, I could blitz out. I just need to knock you down. I have so many chances to I have another chance to block, but we'll see if he goes this way or not. So that frees an Ogre at the very least. It's just a question of where do I go. At the very least, I would like to blitz, just block back here to safety. Because I'm still very much in scoring range, I just need a window now. Because yeah, easy block there. Maybe I won't blitz, but I'll have to keep in mind what do my blitzing opportunities look with you. I can 1-die, and it's an easy 2-die block. It's just a question, who's most important? Probably the thrower, which I would need to get an assist for. And that's a 3-die block again on a valuable piece. Not the end of the world, but it makes things a little more awkward. Oh, that's also a bonehead. Now I do want to block you, but we still have our blitz. Try and thin their numbers out a bit more, and again, deny the assist on the ball carrier. No injuries yet. Now, how do we best... Because again, I want to block him. Because a powered air can be amazing. Yeah, I just don't like the idea of having Nobblar here tied up, but I can do a single dodge at least. He is going to probably chance a red dice, or the red dice here, and that possibly pushes for an assist here. Not all that effectively. There, after multiple blocks, we got a POW. Sadly, it didn't stun him, which would have been nice. And we have 3 turns, so we're burning as many rerolls as we can. But all he needs is 1 lucky red dice here. Because he can't... Yeah, without burning a blitz here would only get him 1 assist. Even if he were to knock down his ogre. And he is preparing for a possibility of the ball carrier being knocked down. And I am very much in scoring range. Anyone could basically score, we just need enough of an opening. I'm just going to have to chance seriously considering a handoff. Okay, burns the blitz there. Got the POW. Unless he's going for the bolt down. There we go. He wasn't a mighty blow piece, so he couldn't hurt him.
Yeah, didn't have the big hit.
So break tackle's an option here. Does it really get me anything though? Probably not. Because now he's just trying to mark my ogres to keep me from advancing forward or getting a good position. And I think without a doubt he's going to try the red dice here at some point. Because the odds are still... yeah, the odds are in his favor. At least of heavily avoiding a skull. But if he were unfortunate enough to get a skull here, I could just immediately run right up. Nope, he didn't chance it there. So let's see. Blocking you, what does that give me? Because if I put the Noblar here, I'm probably going to have to follow up. Handoff is an option. And without a block... Again, I have break tackle. What does it do for me here, though? Because a stun here actually would have been really nice, because in this situation, I could have very easily circled to the right. And I can't get a 3-die, can I? I may have to chance the 3-die. Only problem is I'm blocking my own path out. Which may not be all that bad. Unless I'm lucky enough to hit him. We'll get 2 3-die here. Depending if he falls up here or not. No, we're not even going to give him the opportunity to sidestep. Unless, does me following up help? We'll try it again, because again, 2 blocks like that are in my advantage. There. Now he's going to side... Well, where will he sidestep? Because a Val is a good option here. No! Blitzer down!
Dun dun dun!
Only missed next game, so he's alive. Okay, that does something for me. Because I blitz... I need to guarantee he dies. Or goes down. And then I can move over here. That's a lot to ask for, though. But I could get a 3-die. Because that assists, I need to put the Noblar in a good spot for blocking or denying an assist. I don't like that one bit, so we'll do it one at a time. Another snake eyes. 3 snake eyes on the dodges. That ruined my entire plan. Which is a good thing I didn't try to block. That would have been bad. Still a chance to score, but still. That makes it a little bit harder. without me having a chancing a handoff of some kind. So many missed opportunities. Both the blitzes on the blitzers that were really vulnerable, at least we got one of them out. The triple snake guys on the dodges. This could have been a completely different match if only one of those snake guys were not such. It feels like anyway. Although the first two snake guys were just more to keep them off me than anything else. And there is still a very slim chance with the break tackle piece. Only problem is I gotta make sure he's not marked or anything. Still alive!
Yeah, still kicking.
There is... Let's see, there's an option to push forward, but it would require me burning my blitz. I could hand off, that would require another push. So, still very much a very slim opportunity here. Chain push does not help me because there's no one here. I would need to make 2 dodges. Yeah, one. I don't think forfeiting the touchdown really helps me all that much with the number of Noblar I lost, unless I'm lucky enough to recover. Well, if I recover all 3, I have a full bench. Although that's chancing that his players don't get up as well. So let's see, I can easily block 1. That doesn't do much for me. Yeah, if I had a Nobbler to just stand here, I could chain push over. That would not help much there. Because again, that would burn my blitz. But if I block you, then I could do a single dodge out. And that would have no tackle zones, but that's probably my best option. And low risk of me actually turning overing, because there wouldn't be much of a dodge there. %75% chance to dodge here. I blitz you. It would oh. It is still 2 dodges, actually. Or no, 1 dodge. I do need to be mindful of him. What I could do is just chance the interception at least. Oh well, there goes the bonehead, so that's probably the best I could ask for there. Cause yeah, no, can't get the 3-die, but it's 1 dodge, 75% chance of blitz, and then I think I go for it. Yep, I still go for it. Respectable odds though. The only problem is he needs to get knocked down, otherwise it's 2 go for it's, I think. Moment of truth, I guess. Now, where could I put you that's helpful? Because if the ball's going to fumble, it's going to be right here. And then I don't know where it's going to scatter. Actually, again, the interception possibility is still worth it. The odds, there's still respectable chances. Again, this is where I'm regretting not giving the ball to the break tackle piece. We do have the reroll. Now, do we get the POW? So we're going to have the chance to go for it. Moment of truth. 30% chance.
Yep. Very nice.
Yay! Ogre touchdown! For a moment, I thought it wasn't even possible.
Yeah,
Especially
I
with
was
three-
calculating the same thing.
Especially with 3 snake guys. Because that last turn snake guy, I had a really good window to maybe get onto the sidelines if I knocked down whoever the hell I was planning on blitzing. So yeah, that was still a rough half for me with the snake guys.
Yeah, I mean, you did a great job though, man. It was a great job.
Thank you.
And
The one
you
downside, though, is because I touched down, you have another chance to get those 2 slackers up.
Yes, unfortunate.
I don't want to... I think the simple fact of the matter is I don't want to give them 3 free blocks on the Noblar. I need the numbers for the next half. 1 blitz on a Noblar just to deny the assist I'm fine with, but I do not want to give them 3 opportunities to knock him out again. If I can help it. And in theory, there should be no way for him to get a single dice on the Ogres, outside, of course, just blitzing a Noblar to kind of create an opening. Because the guard piece denies these guys here to get a white dice. You can only get a single assist here. Blitz them, and that is only 1 assist still. This is probably the best I could ask for, at least in denying really bad blocks on my Noblar. Because preserving my numbers is going to be important for the next half. At least force him to touchdown early. I don't think I can stop a touchdown if I don't have 11 players. Just because, again, my Noblar, it's so easy to dodge through the Noblar, and with less than 11 players, there is an easy window on the sidelines, potentially. But despite how awful that half was, I want to consider this half a big success for me. Because the game tried to screw me over, it felt like, with the snake guys. Don't know how we did on the injuries, because we only got a single actual injury, but it was on a blitzer, to be fair, too. Now enjoy your Vanity Pass and free Noblar Punch. There you go. 4 more SPP.
What's up?
So I'm down to 10 players no matter what, sadly.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else I can do. I could try uphill you. I do have a reroll. I guess that's not a terrible idea to do at the very end.
Yay, Vanity Pass. Nice start there to your rolls. At least there's no mighty blow there, but that's going to rapidly allow for a white dice pretty quickly if you can get one more push. Oh, another chance for an injury? I'll take it.
Pow.
Close, but no cigar. Now, how many of those will stay down? Okay, Nobbler's up, I'm down 1. Okay, I think that puts him down 2 players, but it's still more than enough because of the gap that my 10 players presents him. It's hard to count because how big my ogres are. It's hard to count how many players you have on the damn field because of my damn ogres.
Yeah.
But I think you're at 9 or 10. I think you have one
I think
reserve.
I'm in 9, and you're 10, I believe.
Yep.
Yes.
You inflicted 3 injuries there, and I only had 2 reserve. Now again, the problem is there's a gap on the sideline. So there's a very easy opportunity for him to blitz one corner of the field. How do I use that to my advantage? I have my block piece on that side and a break tackle player able to kind of pursue him. Is probably the best I could ask for. And it's also a pretty aggressive formation. How comfortable am I with an ogre having no support, though? Because he could blitz here and it's a 1-die block. I'd rather he have the sideline, honestly. Because at least then it constricts him a bit. And he can only have 2 players on the sideline for his starting formation. But we're going to try aggressively again to preserve numbers because because of how useless the Nobbler are in this type of matchup without diving tackle, I want to try and have the numbers, or at least preserve the numbers, to try and force him to touchdown early. Even though it's unrealistic, I could maybe get another touchdown. But at least then I have the offensive drive to maybe injure and knock out more of his players. I don't like having my ogres on the front line, because there's always that risk that he could try to go for the block on him. And if those ogres ever get knocked down, then that really is disaster for me. Even with the break tackle, you could surround them in a multitude of ways. Only saving grace I could have is the fact he's missing 2 players for his kickoff. One of which is a valuable blitzer and sidestep. Negating 1 sidestep can be a big deal, because he wants to save that mighty blow piece and keep it behind the rest of his players. So it's not like he would get aggressive with him unless he has to.
I good about the I can either line of scrimmage.
You don't want to play with the ogres?
I really would prefer not to.
I don't blame you, but they're still gonna mock you.
Ooh, that's a nice kick. Very nice.
Yep, sadly down the weak inside. But I do have break tackle and, again, a respectable chance with the block piece dodging. Never mind the fact it's probably really risky for him to even mark him. Good thing that was block. 1 more injury. Now, the big goal here is to try and, in all honesty, him stalling is not terrible, because then it's a very good chance of a tie game, which, in all honesty, is probably the best I realistically should expect with this Ogre team. Especially again, with how lucky I got that first touchdown, or at least how much it felt like the dice were at least trying to work against me to an extent. But him stalling It's just a question, because he wouldn't stall until the last turn. It depends on how much he's worried of me having offensive drive of multiple turns. Because Malt might be playing more to preserve his team at this point, as opposed to just try and win. Which again, if it's a tie, that's kind of a win for me considering. Since Malt's team is probably the most dangerous team as far as actually trying to win against. Because of course Malt primarily plays Elves. But we need to think of alternatives, if at all possible. So he dodged on out. He's not marking anyone, so I'm free to move around. So easy answer, we try. Can we blitz you? We can. I like the idea of 3-die block, and he set himself up for another risky 3-die block. I just don't like... I want my Ogres to block his pathway as opposed to being a line like this, though. So if I blitz with you, I want you here. Yeah, I might have to chance to go for it with a Noblar to get the 3-die. Then we'll have to be ready for him, which I think we keep this Ogre here. Don't move him because he's already in a good blocking spot. Keep one of these Ogres here because they're a blocking spot. And then we have 2 break tackles. Yeah, I think I'm okay putting 1 Ogre here. Oh, Bonehead. That's a rough start. I don't like this spot, because again, I would like to have an Ogre over here. You know, I got the reroll at least. Because I don't think I plan on moving these Ogres at all. Because that's still blocking tackle zones for the moment. Even though it's an easy white dice there. Alright. So I have the 3-die block. You never know. You never know, Roger, but it is a 3-die block. It is worth chancing. And if I do knock him down, that separates him heavily with an Ogre here. We gotta chance it. He's a valuable target. This might hurt a bit. I'm warning you now. There's bigger opportunity here. I want to block this path, but let's see, where can I put you that's useful? Because I did burn the reroll. I want to foul. Yeah, missing Noblar is gonna suck here. Maybe I chance moving the Ogre. But I do like his position right now if he does try and go over this way. Oh, nothing there, sadly. And I don't want to move you because of risk of Bonehead, but this was a bad spot because I chanced to foul. Because this is an obvious window for him to block through. If this Ogre's in Bonehead, that'd be a different story. Oh yeah, I forgot. I did not consider that. He already had an opening. That's at least another way to keep Malt from stalling, is to risk his valuable blitzer from getting pummeled to death. And we do have a really good opportunity to damage him. If we can keep hurting him, that'd be good, but I think this might be a block opportunity here for him. It's going to take 3 elves to do it, though. Which hurts any forward momentum he might try if he's going to go for it. Not this time. Aww. Knockout! He's out of here. And I already burnt my reroll, so that was not lost. And he did burn the reroll. That's really scary to try and pick up there and risk a 1. The worst spot to roll a 1 for a pickup. Now, is he going to actually try for the handoff? Because I could still throw a Noblar, which doesn't do much on its own. But we can continue to blitz this guy, and it's a 2+ dodge with my players. You're risking a lot with that an easy 3-die on your blitzer again.
Yeah, that's alright.
And it's not too difficult to get another said 3-die block. Because I have the guard piece, it's just a question where he puts everyone else. Yeah, really easy for the guard piece to go here. I'll have a free Ogre, and that's another 3-die block. And then we'll chance throwing a Noblar to run some form of interference. So you're just in the way a bit, so we'll use you as sort of Noblar. There's no risk of a turnover here, unless they...
I love it. That's beautiful.
Let's see what we get. Doesn't do much on its own, but it's a start. Now, I can get another Noblar up there easily, but again, 3-die block on him is incredibly tempting, and it forces Malt into a very awkward position. Well, there goes the 3-die opportunity. And let's see, you're a catcher, you're still valuable though. And then we can get a Noblar up there. Actually, I may want to just move you through here to kind of run interference, as much as I would like a 3-die block. It's so damn tempting for 3-die blocks. Is forcing you to sidestep actually helpful for me? With that said, for having this Noblar go through. Because if he goes here, it's the only problem. He's a valuable catcher, he's still worth targeting, even though I really would have liked my 3-die there. Let's see what becomes of your rookie catcher.
Oh.
Not a whole lot yet.
Grave Elvicide.
So we're just pressuring him, because again, it's almost impossible for me to actually stop him from touching down, even before the kickoff, just because of the gaps that was present for him. And because it's so important for my Nobbler to have diving tackle if I really want to make him just dodging through even a risk. Which is more of a playoff type of pick anyway, or at least preparation. But we can at least prevent, or at least make it intimidating for him to get some support. This will probably force him to touch down. And actually, I do not want to mark you. Because, yeah, you just block and then this has a nice ease. Is that worth it? It's still two... Yeah, it's a single dodge here. Let's just pressure him. Recklessly marking is not a good idea here. But it looks like he's planning on stalling again, which, so long as I could continue to block his elves, is not really a bad thing. I would probably consider myself lucky to have a tie, and there's still the very slim chance of a one-turn touchdown, keep in mind. So him stalling till the very end is not really all that bad for me, especially when he doesn't have kick to ensure a deep kick. You were due a snake eyes too, dang it.
I was, absolutely.
I don't like... I'm gonna have to send you an IOU, damn it. Because I took 3 snake eyes for you. Never mind the fact that the armor break was... There's another snake eyes right there, god damn it. I don't want to keep taking these snake eyes for you. That's 3 failed dodge snake eyes and then 2 armor break snake eyes. You can have it back, damn it. So remember, relatively good chance to just blitz him right here. And my Ogre's not even marked at the moment, which he can easily change, but still, really good chance of dodging out. The name of the game is to pressure, and we can pressure nicely. I want the Ogres there to force his hand. Slowly but surely we get there. Because don't underestimate agility too. That's still in my favor of a dodge. It's just the bonehead and everything else that makes it awkward. One. And sadly can't get the 3 die. Which would be really nice, but let's keep on moving forward. Bonehead there. Keep pushing forward. We want to threaten him. Ideally, if I was able to mark in good spots, that would help even more.
What a madman. Look at him go.
Yeah, we're not done yet there. We got more ridiculous things to enjoy. I didn't notice that was a dodge, to be fair, but it works. And we are nearing... Well, we're not nearing the end of the game by a long shot, so I still want to dodge out these Nobblar. This dodge I was perfectly fine doing, but of course that burns my good luck, essentially. Now we have the reroll. Not this time, alas.
It was a good idea, though. The block piece is a good one.
I sadly didn't notice that first dodge there with the Ogre.
Oh, really? Oh, well,
Yeah,
I'm glad it
because
wasn't bad, at least.
Yeah, because the Elves, Ogres are conveniently blocking. So
Yeah.
there goes my successful dodge that could have been. But yeah, the Ogres are getting closer. Him stalling is not terrible, because again, there is still a respectable chance maybe, so long as I still have a reroll, of at least chancing a one-turn touchdown. So this looks like a possible foul attempt here, or at least he doesn't want me to blitz again. And I do have break tackle here. And unless he wants to dodge multiple Elves through here, that's still a very easy blitz. So is he going to go left? Because I have enough Noblar to at least get a 1-die. Correction, I did have enough Noblar, unless he survives. Okay, that's still an option. There you are. So I am down 2 players. His Elves get back up, alas. So I think my big priority is to just deny him getting the ball. Which again, of course, means that Ogre should get it. Because it's way too risky to try a one-turn touchdown now. And because of my thinned out numbers, a blitz here would be terrible. But he is doing a narrow formation, which helps a little bit. Not much, though. And I think this time we will chance with the break tackle piece picking up the ball. Although with 5 turns, it's not likely. And I honestly would like to hang my Ogres back, as opposed to get aggressive, because securing the ball is probably more important here. Because again, I always have the threat of a Noblar's throw. So, I have the cards, I just gotta keep him from being able to get to the ball. Which is going to be tricky to do because of my limited numbers. And honestly, we should have you in the front line for a chance of a level up. Alright, let's see how this kickoff goes.
Oh, deep, deep, deep. Another
More rerolls.
Probably because of the fan. Nope, just the roll as well. Okay.
I want this 3-die, but I need to have the players to secure the ball. Aw, those POWs had your blitzer's name written all over it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I could chance this 3-die here, maybe. Another 2 POWs with your blitzer's name on it. Now the smart thing is to just secure the ball. Unrealistic to expect a touchdown here with already half the second half already gone. But that's probably the right choice there, even if the Noblar are not very effective at it. Ooh. There, that's more like it. So this changes the dynamic a little bit for trying to pick up the ball. but it's still worth chancing because of the security it provides me. There.
You
Step
did it
1
again!
done.
What a madman.
Hey, I did with Source. Remember? I think I have
That's
more
right.
Source touchdowns than Skinks, I believe.
That's true.
Although, with the Ogre team, it's a lot more terrifying, even with a failed pickup.
Yeah.
Because of how little these Noblar actually are for defense against you.
Yeah. You end up having to do the defense all yourself.
So that's probably the most significant hurdle done there. Because I can reliably keep him from getting any white dice on my Ogre. And I do have Break Tackle for a little bit of flexibility, but I should not realistically expect to get a touchdown. But so long as a Noblar is available, it's still an option. He would have to mark all the Ogres to deny me proper protection. And even then, one of them does have Break Tackle. Which in all honesty I have yet to use, which seems like a crime, but even if I don't use Break Tackle, a proper opponent would at least try to be aware of it and try and plan around it. Because imagine if that block piece had Break Tackle, how easily I could have ruined Malt's offensive drive. And even then, the reroll had a respectable chance of dodging out.
So I
The
fucked
one
that
die
up.
pad.
You might be able to notice I fucked that up a little bit, and Nuffle was exceedingly kind.
A one die block on a Noblar. I thought that was a myth.
It's rare, that's for sure.
Not as preposterous as red dice against Narblar, good god.
Yeah, that is some next level stuff to be doing that.
Now are you gonna let your luck elapse, or are you gonna chance it?
We'll take the safe. May mean we miss out on scoring, but it will help prevent you from scoring, I guess.
So long as I have Noblar, there will always be a potential
The option,
touchdown.
yeah.
There will always be a Noblar touchdown. So caging, denying assists is key here, but where are the biggest threats? Because he can attack from... I'm most protected on the left because of these two Ogres, but a Bonehead can change that. I already got an assist here for 3 dice, so that means I could move a Noblar. In all honesty, I probably should have moved this Ogre a little bit more to the right. If I had... But, of course, with the risk of Bonehead, it's really impossible to plan ahead. That's the only problem. Because, yeah, I think I just want to cage around and keep a Noblar nearby. If at all possible. And he's also a catcher, so that kind of demands I try to cripple his valuable players. And this could be a second level up if it's an injury. Still going, but that gives us the protection we need. And I would like to... I really want to start pressuring, but... Again, denying a fortunate opportunity for Malt is kind of important, and I still want to have a Noblar safe. A single Noblar safe is important. And I don't even think I moved these guys to keep them from boneheading. They're already in a decent spot. As much as I would like to mark the elves, I need to secure him. Next turn, if I can get a window, I'll start pushing forward, but... Let's see. So mark there. I do have break tackle. That's again a very easy option, but we definitely want to be open-minded towards better opportunities to get out. Ooh, is this the moment? You were due it finally, you bastard! You pointy-eared bastard! So... only problem is I can easily free him, but that's a lot of players have to move for even a 2-die block. And that leaves me vulnerable, but a big window here at the same time. And again, I have break tackle. The break tackle is probably the better option, because at least that way I retain more players. What's the better option? Because the Nobbler here allow for a 2-die block. Oh yeah, and I have a spare Nobbler for a throw. Ladies and gentlemen, most ambitious spectacle is about to be witnessed before your very eyes. It is the infamous 2-die block Nobla. Bonus points for an arc break.
Did it.
Now, we do still have 2 players marked, neither of which with break tackle, but we can at least deny red dice easily enough. And we have 2 rerolls. I'm not going to get my hopes up there, but if we can make it a scoring threat, then we should take it. I would love the 2 go forts. But we need all these ogres to cooperate first. And I did blitz. It is still a red dice. It's not like I could properly protect them. It's just a question, is it worth trying to dodge any one of these guys? That is the honest question, because I seriously should chance to dodge here. But at the same time, it's what, 3 elves? If this was any other team, I would seriously chance putting a player here. I'm just wondering how much of a blocking threat is he with... Let's see. Well, he still has 2 rerolls. Because failing a dodge doesn't help me. His 1 blitzer's down. None of them have dodge, but he just burnt his snake eyes, and let's not expect lightning to strike twice. Worth a try, I guess. Block and elf wouldn't have amount to very much. I still have break tackle. I was kind of hoping to make it a little bit awkward for him to try surround me. And again, I still have a Noblar throw opportunity, which I should be playing more towards that than trying to dodge on through. Because I'm well within reach of a Noblar touchdown. It's just a lot more riskier, of course. But if I can somehow get close enough for maybe a short pass or short throw, at least that's a 2+ roll as opposed to a 3+. I would just have to plan for a handoff and then throw next turn. And even then, there's still somewhat of a chance to touch down with an Ogre. It's just the risk of boneheads, of course. And again, break tackle, very minor risk of these marks. We'll see. There you go, pick your poison. There you go, level up.
Yay!
Dodge and go for it. 42% chance of one of them failing. What do we get? What do we get? 31.
Ooh. Next.
Okay. I smell an opportunity, but I don't think it helps me too much. I could dodge here relatively well, but that leaves them exposed to easy white dice. But we could still present a bit of a risk to scoring. Yeah, only problem is I can only safely dodge over here, but that's... And I could blitz into you. Okay, another bonehead spent there, alas. So, let's see. Do we chance going... Yeah, if I have the Noblar near, that's still worth something. Noblar throw is still possible. Another potential bonehead evaded. So that's 2 rolls with a possible reroll burnt. Okay, that's 2 dodges there. That looks better. And we're near the end of this game, so... Oh yeah, standing here would give an assist, but that's 3 die there. And we have a punch here. It's just a question, do I blitz or not? Probably not, because I may seriously consider handing off to a Noblar for a throw next turn. And trying anything too risky means he can win the match with a pick up and pass. Tempting, but... We're not going to chance it too much. Where's he going to go, though? Because I can still blitz him. I'm trying to remember which... Oh, the bonehead is my break tackle. Which way did he go? I wasn't looking. I can't remember where he went. So I have a guard there, that's important, so we'll just blitz with you. And next turn we try for maybe a Noblar pass. We just gotta protect said Noblar, which he can easily blitz 1. We'll see what happens. All but impossible to get a white dice here, though. Don't worry, my ogres are really close to getting their second skill. I'm just trying to remember which one it is. Because I'm having a hard... Okay, there it is. Ashbringer is close, which I might... Well, I don't know what would be a good skill that synergizes with Break Tackle. Without a doubt, Dodge would be amazing, but that relies on a Dibble. So if he knocks down both Noblar, even with sidestep upward, it's impossible to get a throw in there. So we'll see if he knocks down both the Noblar or not. Gonna burn the reroll? Or risk your Blitzer dying. A very painful death.
I think I can just use the other guy to punch.
Other guy does not have block though. That makes it a little trickier.
That is true.
Close, but no cigar. 2 spaces off, but I can still hand off to a Noblar because one of these Noblar is still going to survive. I just got to hand off to him, and that is a bit of a penalty.
Well, it means no win for me, but I think it's probably no win for you either, I suspect.
Noblar throw could still happen. Unless you could somehow knock down both the Noblar. Gonna chance it. Suck it.
No, long term at least. Hey, he's just stunned. Look at that Noblar. What a man.
Are you gonna let your elves get embarrassed like that? Tisk, tisk. And here I thought you were the Elven Terror. The one that potentially everyone saw to win because you won last season with elves.
Well, we'll see if he can beat me. At the moment's a draw. We can see the big Snotling play.
I'll wait until the playoffs to beat you. I'll just be more content with actual injuries here.
Alright, fair enough.
Which is not promising there. So what do I need to hand off to a Noblar? Because easy pass throw here. And I do have Break Tackle. Only problem is the Blitz. Because I would have to chance a dodge, which... Actually, I don't... Yeah, I don't need you to throw... Anyone can really throw the Noblar, to be fair. They just have to be next to him. It's just a question, what are my options? Because knocking you down would help. I could just dodge here. I want to blitz you. I'm just thinking what my options are. Because I do have break tackle and a respectable chance to dodge out. I don't want a chance blocking you until later. And there are penalties, so in all honesty, I might have to chance blocking anyway. And even then, handoff. Let's see if I hand off to a Noblar here. Okay, we have very limited time. I was hoping to maybe get a Noblar without having to move them. And it's still a possibility. Because a break tackle allows for a good opportunity. Because 2+, 4+, we just need to deal with at least one of these elves. Can't blitz with you, but I can easily dodge out there. So let's see if we can get a POW to minimize the risk. Nope, bonehead, which is fine. It wouldn't have changed anything there. Let's see, break tackle, yes, we'll take it here. Now, the risky part...
That's the good old-fashioned dodge, nice.
Yep, I would have liked... Well, maybe it might have been smart. Well, asking for so much there for us to land its proper spot.
Yeah.
Nope, that's game.
GG, man.
It's a tie, which I can't really say anything negative about considering Ogres.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can draw with this 90 team, I consider that a win.
Only a single injury though, well, besides you hurting yourself.
Yeah.
So, congrats on your team surviving.
Thank you. Yeah, only one miss next game is relatively light.
Yep, and when you're ready, I'll validate it there, and we can move on with our lives with you being a terror to everyone who hates elves.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Go ahead with the validation. Absolutely.
Good, good. But it was a tense match there. There was a very slim window to get a touchdown, a second touchdown for an Ogre after the Snake guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very impressed with your last turn score on the first half, because sadly, that was the only way I could see it happening, and you managed to pull it off. It was great. Yeah,
sadly the armor breaks. I couldn't get enough injuries, and the knockouts eventually did recover.
Yeah, and I was definitely light on the damage. I should have had a lot more guys in the dugout recovering than the ones that were there.
But anyways, I will let you enjoy your morning there, and hopefully I get a chance to see you in the playoffs.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. It'd be great.
Perfect. Take it easy.
You too.
So ultimately, that was not terrible. But the dice felt terrible, at least for the first half. And of course, not getting injuries to give the injured elves everyone want to see, we were kind of robbed of that. But it was not a terrible match considering how the failed Noblar dodges kind of threatened for everything to fall apart on me. Now, it's just an honest question. What to do with this devil here. Because I already got leader. Dirty player can be really beneficial, but kick might be the big one. Might be. I'm gonna have to think on this. Dirty player is fun, but having the numbers is definitely a big deal too, and I like to prioritize preserving my players. But we had some windows to foul, and the fouling didn't amount to too much, sadly. Anyways, thank you everyone for tuning in. We somehow tied with Elves, potentially the #1 team for this league, at least in the dodgy division. So I consider that a big success, and I will see you next time.